Hey buds, welcome to this week's episode of Alto Key Vlogs, brought to you by Freddie Gayton, who's asked the question, is it good living in London, pros and cons? Classic Freddie, just like the chocolate. So, first things first, how do the people of London actually get around such a big city? Nobody drives. Most people get the underground, which is a series of tube-like things where trains go in the tubes and then people get on the trains. The underground has a massive map, and you don't need to know the whole map. I've learned maybe about 5% of the map. The moment where you feel like I've truly become a Londoner is when somebody asks you for directions and you vaguely know, but you still don't really know. The tube in general is quite annoying. Everybody gets a tube all the time. You're gonna get shoved into the tube like sardines. Like sardines in a can, and guaranteed there'll be someone with a backpack who's pushing it up against your face and you can't breathe and you're getting squished. And basically, I like to think of the tube as a stressed conga line of people. So you're constantly standing there holding the thing and people are constantly looking around at the seats, and the moment someone's butt is lifted by a single millimeter from the seat, you're on it. You just jump on the seat, you push everybody out of the way, because at the end of the day, you need to have a sit down because your butt is more important than anybody else's butts. And some positives of the tube is that it's fast, and 99% of the time it's running, but the 1% of the time it's not running, you're screwed. Next, let's think about living in London. So if you want to live anywhere in London, you've got to be prepared to live in a shoebox. I love my shoebox. It's very high up, which means I can be as far away from people as possible, which is perfect for me. That's not going to be for everybody. So if you like being in a mansion or a massive house, London's not going to be for you. Unless you're really, really rich, then London definitely could be for you, yes. So what things are there to do around London, you may ask? Well, there's plenty of stuff to do all the time, non-stop, it never stops. One of the things you can do is go visit Big Ben, which is the classic tower. Fun fact for you, Big Ben isn't actually the name of the tower. The tower is Elizabeth Tower and Big Ben is the bell. And we're always learning over here at Alto Key Incorporated Copyright Enterprises strike. Why did I say strike? There's London Eye, Shrek's Adventure, Madame Two Swords, a bunch of other things. There's stuff for everyone, from music to fun. But if you don't like crowds, there's nothing for you. As of now, there's 8 million people living in London. But one of the things I find about living in London is it's actually surprisingly lonely being in London, because everybody's so busy all the time that it's really hard to organise things. Even if someone's just like half an hour away, London can be a very isolating place. I spend so much time doing my own music anyway that, you know, it fills a lot of my time. But if you're a very, very people-focused person, you might find that you have to constantly go out to make more friends. Would I recommend London? I love living in London. It's the right place for me. I love being here. If you like an exciting lifestyle and you're quite a driven person, then I think London's probably for you. Otherwise, there's plenty of other big cities around the world which you might prefer. So, do you like living in London? Would you like to live in London? Leave me a comment down below, and perhaps a question or topic you'd like me to cover next week. So, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you next time.